Hello everyone, I hope audio video everything is clear. Please kindly confirm. So guys, a breakthrough revision which is with a single liners we are taking a revision. So you can subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon for the upcoming live notification. Subscribe to this my YouTube channel Achievers Adda. Right, so kindly refresh once again because some people are not finding that I am live. I hope audio video everything is clear. So part number 2, part number 1 I have done in the Unacademy live India UGC NET channel, and now the part number 2. Today morning only we have completed. Now the evening we are doing with the remaining part of the research aptitude. So here you can join into Unacademy Plus platform. Here in the Unacademy Plus platform, total 1 month from the Monday. From Monday, we are going to start the courses. That is revision with a chart wise presentation of the paper 2 commerce part 1 and part 2. Total 10 units coverage will be there. And paper 1, most expected NTA level questions will be covered, which is a paper 2. So 8 AM commerce and 7 PM paper 1 will be there at Unacademy Plus platform for my classes. Use the invite code Shiva Live SHIVA to get 10% off on the subscription. And with that you will be getting this 1 month subscription plan will be 5,100 minus 10% discount will be there. Out of that remaining will be your investment for your JRF and NET for the 1 month period. Let's start with the research aptitude single liners. So we have done till the 62nd single liner. Yes, from here I need to start 68 onwards. Yes. Do hit a like button guys. Those who are new, you can hit a subscribe button also. Join in my Telegram group Achievers Adda. Link is pinned in the chat box or else name is appearing in the top. Good evening everyone. So here the critical difference between the experimental and ex post facto. Two related, but this is manipulation possible in the experimental, manipulation not possible in the ex post facto. That is what? Control and manipulation of an independent variable. This both control and manipulation there in the experimental. Control and manipulation will not be there in the ex post facto. That is a key difference. In establishing a research problem for the PhD level course, in the initial stage, which of the following stages are crucial? Out of that, these 3 stages are crucial. That is defining the population of the research and its characteristics, selecting pointed issue means which is burning issue, and defining and delimiting the problem. Defining and delimiting the problem. So delimitation means which is creating a scope of the problem that comes under here. And here non-probability sampling methods are quota, purposive and snowball. DSP, CQ. Dimensional, snowball, purposive, convenience as well as quota sampling. Out of that 3 are given over here. The goal of inquiry in fundamental research. Fundamental means a theoretical research, which is basic research. Which is basic research or a fundamental research or a theoretical research. At a bringing an increment in the fund of knowledge. Fund of knowledge, bringing an increment in the fund of knowledge. And action research is a research by practitioner for the practitioner and of the practitioner. By the practitioner, for the practitioner, of the practitioner. Means what it indicates? By the practitioner, for the practitioner and of the practitioner. Action research is to solve the immediate problems, mainly to enhance the situations or to ameliorate the situations or to better the situations, which is a practical research are the 3rd level of a research, because applied research is a 2nd level. Research ethics mandates the use of appropriate and authentic procedure to arrive at truth and advancing the solution to your problems, and credibility of the research. Credibility, see here, research ethics are creating the credibility. Research ethics, when you follow it, that will create authenticity of your study, whatever that you performed. And moreover, credibility of a research not only a prized goal but a prerequisite for excellence in a human pursuit. So credibility can be achieved when you follow the research ethics. When you don't follow the research ethics, if you are violating the ethics, credibility for your research will not be there. So you will lose the credibility. When you lose the trust on your study, when the people are not trusting your study, there is no credibility. That is not only being a researcher, you are a failure, you are also a failure being a human, because human need to follow the ethics. Yes, trustworthy in nature. Next. Qualitative research perspective and questions. Qualitative, ethnography is cultural study, perspective of the people. Heuristic is my experience of the phenomenon. Heuristic means personal experience. Phenomenology is then structure and essence of the experience of this phenomenon for those people. The perception and attitude of the people are comes under the phenomenology. And symbolic interactionism, what common set of symbols and understanding have emerged to give the meaning to people interaction. Symbolic means this is like a semiotics. Semiotic means non-verbal. With the signs and signals and symbols only we are trying to understand the meanings and people's interaction and differentiations. A college teacher intends to study the problems of latecomers in the classroom, and the sampling method which is appropriate in this context is that purposive sampling, because the teacher only knows about their student or his student. Judgmental type of sampling, because he is the one who will be having a proper knowledge about their students. No other person will have their knowledge. So according to their knowledge, they will be making a judgments over there, which is called as an purposive sampling. The activity which will take place during this stage of reconnaissance. What is this reconnaissance in action research? Describing the facts of the situation and explaining the facts of the situation is comes under the activities which takes place during the stage of reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is nothing but preliminary inspection type. Inspection is nothing but reconnaissance. Here describing the facts, explaining the facts, both are comes under this reconnaissance stage of the research. Next, purposive is also called as a deliberative. Guys, do hit a like button. Now you can see a teacher intends to establish a relationship between educational status of parents, scholastic achievement of the people. Two variables are there. Two variables. A teacher intends to establish between the educational status of the parents and scholastic achievement of the people. Ex post facto method of research which is considered as appropriate for the above study. Why ex post facto here? Relationship between the educational status and scholastic achievement. Achievement means already achieved thing. Already happened event, completed event. Happened or completed event. So when the event is after happening, after achieving, then whether the educational status of the parents is the reason for this achievement or not. To wanted to know that, ex post facto will be performed over here. Only relationship. Why? Because achievement is already happened. After achieving only we are trying to identify parents' educational status is important for this or not. That is already happened event only we are trying to check it out. In this question there were no other options suitable to this particular situation. Next, do hit a like button. In a classroom assessment, a teacher finds that distribution of a student score is positively skewed. So the mean of scores will be greater than the median and median will be greater than the mode. Means here mean more than median more than mode. Mode is a smaller one, mean is a higher one in case of positively skewed. So in this situation positively skewed, question paper or the scores are very difficult. Paper is difficult. And if the mode is higher, mode more than the median more than the mean, then in such case easy paper negatively skewed. Negatively skewed it is. Next, when the distribution of a student scores found to be normal. Normal means which is the middle of the, where all the three things median, mode, mean are equal. So all the measures of central tendency coincide means equal. That is what we have understood in the morning session also. Research ethics is must in order to learn the credibility. Credibility means creating a trust for your research study. So this credibility to the research findings and their use in the authentic situation comes under the research ethics. Their use in the research ethics. And the population in research means defined aggregate of something which is focus of this study, which is the focus of the study. The population in research means defined aggregate, means a total. Aggregate means a total of something which is focus of the study, and sample is a subaggregate. Population is an aggregate, sample is an subaggregate, means subcomponent or sub part of it. Out of the total, one portion that comes under here, right? Next, the key features of qualitative research. Actual settings means real or natural settings. Natural settings are comes under the quality. Data takes forms of a words or picture, repetitive PYQs, concerned with a participant perspective, ethnographical study. And the researcher method which employs internal and external criticism. Wherever criticism is coming, that is called as an historical method of a research. Historical method of a research. So historical method of a research where we'll be taking the criticism, internal one, external one into account and deciding the data for evidence purpose. The research focus on enhancing the corpus of knowledge. Corpus means a fund of knowledge, a group of knowledge. Like it's a pool of knowledge that comes under, pool of knowledge comes under the fundamental or theoretical or basic research. Fundamental, theoretical or basic or pure research. This is also basic research, fundamental research. Next, in research, null hypothesis when rejected, it will give a scope for accepting alternative or substantive or research hypothesis. So when null is rejected, automatically alternative is accepted. Automatically alternative is accepted, which means a research hypothesis. Probability sampling techniques is S cube MCA. Simple, stratified, systematic, multi-stage, as well as cluster and area sampling are probability sampling procedure, right? Next, qualitative research characteristics. Qualitative research characteristics. You can look at again qualitative, exploring the problem and developing a detailed understanding. Detailed understanding means this is about a description or exploring type, which means to be a quality. Having literature review play a minor role but justifying the problem. Minor role but justifying the problem comes under here. Collection of data based on the words from the small number of individuals. From the small collection of data from the on words from the small number of individuals. In the form of words means this is a qualitative in nature. And whether it is small number of people or large number of people, many number of people, whatever it is, the words is a data which is a qualitative research, right? Next, when the independent variable is explored rather than manipulated to observe the effect on dependent variable, the method is ex post facto method. Here independent variable is not being manipulated, we are not changing. We are just exploring, means we are selecting and digging deeper. We are just selecting and analyzing in deeper. That's what exploring. Analyzing in deeper, because this is an event already happened. You cannot manipulate the variable in the ex post facto. You can only select and explore by analyzing more in depth. That comes under the ex post facto method. Next, scientific methods are used in empirical researches. Empirical means where the single reality which is observation based. Empiricism and rationalism are the two components of the epistemology. Empiricism and rationalism. And ontology, axiomatic research, all those are part of this scientific methods only, which are indicating a positivism in research approach. When we perform an experiment, then the set of of all possible outcome is called as an sample space. Sample space, When we perform an experiment, set S of all possible outcome is called as a sample space. Means here sample space is indicating the outcomes or the portion that we selected out of the entire universe, entire population that we selected. Next, even historical research also now. For what? In this, historical research is not suitable. Why? You know, we are not going to have any independent variable manipulation of the selection. In the history, we can describe the things. We cannot introduce any variables, and we will not be having a hypothesis also. That is why. When there are no variables, no hypothesis. And when there are variables, already happened is ex post facto. It cannot be historical. Right? A researcher intends to find out the differences in motivational outlook of first degree level students in terms of their belongingness to rural or urban areas and educational status of the parents. Here, differences in motivational outlook of first degree level of students in terms of their belongingness to rural and urban areas and educational status of the parents. The dependent variable in the study is an motivational outlook. The dependent variable in the study is called as an motivational outlook. Why motivational outlook here? Differences in motivational outlook of first degree level students in terms of belongingness to rural or urban. This will be a moderating variable or intervening variable who belong to the rural and urban. Their motivational outlook is going to impact on the educational status of or educational achievement of that people. Here the intervening independent variable is moderate this motivational outlook. Dependent is that educational status as well as educational status of the parents, and here rural or urban is an moderating or intervening variable. Moderating or no manipulation, absolutely no manipulation in the historical research. Research ethics is observation is necessary in the interest of the credibility. This is repeating. Credibility means ethics. When you follow the ethics, credibility will come. When you don't follow the ethics, no credibility. No one will believe, no one will trust. Policy making body have to be accountable for pursuing the research and I to promote the excellence. What is excellence? When you follow the ethics, automatically you will achieve the excellence. It is not only with regard to the research, it is as a human also you must follow the ethics, then only the credibility will be increased. Right? Do hit a like button guys and kindly share with your friends, subscribe to this channel. So, a college principal conducts an ethnographic probe into the problem faced by tribal students. Here clear cut only the tribal students have chosen and they said ethnographic study. Cluster sampling is the most appropriate. Why cluster is most appropriate? Because heterogeneous hetero groups they can make within the cluster hetero and between the cluster homo. So they will make sure that every cluster will have all the type of tribal students. Within the tribal also multiple dimensions or the feature or characteristics will be there. It must include the all the every cluster will have all the characteristics of this population called as tribal students. The non-probability sampling procedures are quota sampling, snowball sampling, dimensional sampling. Non-probability we know very well, DSP, CQ. Already this is keep on repeating, same and same. Next. Historical methods of a research are implied. Usually here hypothesis is implied. Implied means no need of making hypothesis actually. What you will expect or what you will estimate. Rather being explicit, it is already included in the study itself. We assume or we presume that already hypothesis is made. But there is no requirement of hypothesis separately need to do. That is why it is implied in nature. For ensuring successful teaching and learning system, both norm referenced and criteria referenced procedure or interpretation scores have to be. Yes, by CRT criteria for minimum pass and NRT for comparison and identifying, both are necessary for evaluation of the teaching and learning. Next, parents and educational administrators along with the students themselves need to know the student status of accomplishment in terms of laid down criteria and relative positions of the participant vis-a-vis of others. Look at parents, educational administrators along with the student themselves need to know the status of accomplishment in terms of laid down. So here the question is actually point is what? Okay, parents and educational administrators means that teachers are the principals like headmasters and who are the authorities. They have to along with the students themselves need to know the status, what they are doing or what they are achieving. What they are doing, what they are achieving comes under here. So whether they are going as per the criteria requirement of the class or requirement of the study or not, relative positions of the participants also, their ranking and all will get to know in this. Next, the features of qualitative research. Qualitative research features are researcher becomes immersed in the situation of the present or past. Researcher becomes immersed in the situation of the present or the past. Present or the past, researcher will be involved in this. So qualitative, he will be analyzing a past, future and present also. It develops a context. Context is again indicating a quality, not the content also, context also. It uses the emergent research design, means which is developing or modern. CRT it is. CRT only. Next, sampling methods and description. Stratified sampling, every unit has an independent and equal chance because that is probability. Cluster is also units and groups are intact. Intact means we will not break the groups. The groups are selected directly. Group itself will be chosen in the cluster. We will not break the group. Systematic sample. The members are selected using the interval obtaining by n by nth. This is here nth value will be calculated by using the population and sample size. Nth value will be chosen. Right? Dimensional sampling is the units or the members are chosen to represent the various areas of characteristics so defined. So dimensional are units or the members are chosen to represent various areas of characteristics so defined. What is CRT? Criteria reference testing, meeting or comparing with a criteria. Listen to the last class of the teaching aptitude. You will understand better. Every research institute has to enforce research ethics in order to ensure the credibility and meaningfulness of human inquiry. Every research institute has to enforce the ethics because ethics is mandatory in the research. Without ethics, you cannot have the credibility and trustworthy for your research. And when you violate the ethical norms, obviously your study is going to be unethical. And the purpose of research is also to revisit the situations, to bid to ensure the needed amelioration and improvement and action in is a format of research which is basically directed at bettering the situation. So here again they are speaking about the action research. Action research is nothing but bettering the situation, improvement, amelioration, all the words are under one. That is what? Action research. Next, quantitative research is mainly quantitative, hypothetico, deductive. Deductive reasoning will be followed and hypothesis is mandatory. Whereas qualitative, empiricism means observation is mandatory and inductive in nature, which is quantitative. And here, in order to bridge the gap between the theory and the practice, both fundamental and applied research formative to be promoted. So in order to fill the gap between the theory and practical, we need to undertake fundamental and applied research in an improvised manner. Continuously we need to invent the new theories, increase the theoretical knowledge and improve the practical knowledge also, so that we can decrease the gap between the both. Fundamental research is a theory making. Applied research is a directed at exploring the applicability. Applicability of the theory means implementation of the theory. How we can implement the theories and get the solution for it. That comes under here. Next, non-probability sampling methods are judgmental sampling, snowball sampling, quota sampling. Non-probability sampling methods are judgmental, snowball, quota. Next, in conducting empirical study, a researcher employs a non-parametric test for data analysis and finds that statistics arrived at significant 0.05 level is decision warranted will be. Decision warranted will be rejecting a null or accepting alternative. Look at this 0.05 level by here 0.025 or 0.25 and here 0.025. Total 0.05 is having a significance, that is error is there. Remaining is a acceptance region. In this, two things will happen, rejection of a null and acceptance of alternative. These are the two only which can happen over here, right? Next, there is a greater flexibility, means you can change according to your requirement, the conveniently, which is both the methods and processes, ethnography and phenomenology. Why this both? Because these both are again qualitative in nature. That is why the flexibility. In the qualitative research, flexibility will be more. In the quantitative, you don't have any flexibility. You have to take the numbers, analyze and draw the conclusion. You cannot change the number, you cannot fabricate the number, you cannot falsify the number. So in this, you can do anything, any manipulations you can do. Researcher reports his or her research finding to the research audience in such a way that his or her personal views are necessarily getting supported. This would involve issues relating to the scientific rigor. Means, when you are doing a research, don't try to match the finding with your personal opinions. Your personal opinion is none of the business of audience. Your personal opinion nobody is expecting. What they are expecting, what the scientific study results are saying, scientific method when you applied, what results you got, what interpretation you got, that is getting over here, which is a scientific rigor, necessarily getting supported. This involves issues relating to the scientific rigor mainly, right? Good evening, good evening. Can you please tell me, will you provide this PDF? Kindly hit a like button, guys. Application of ICT in research is relevant to the following stages: survey of related studies, data analysis, indexing the references. So here ICT, information and communication technology, while doing a survey for a questionnaire purpose. For a questionnaire purpose, you will take the ICT and you will reach out to many members for conducting a survey and approaching to many participants. You will use the ICT tools via mails or via various survey related platforms are available, the discussion forums with the various experts, many things. And for the data analysis also, ICT is mandatory. ICT is required, not mandatory, because there is a one question in 2021. Indexing the references to draw the APA format. In the Word document also now we have a APA format, MLA format, all these formats are available under this. So we can choose that one, right? Next, quantitative is a closed-ended. Yes, quantitative is a closed-ended. The qualitative research design exploring a common experience of the individual to develop a theory. The qualitative research is that exploring, qualitative is indicating exploring a common experience of the individual to develop a theory. Individuals are the group by anyone. We are trying to get the experience, means it could be a cultural study, understanding the lives of the people, getting the participant perspectives or participant observation based research. All these are the elements of qualitative study. And exploring the shared culture, again ethnography. Exploring the individual stories, again narrative research, phenomenological research, narrative research, ethnography. All these are types of qualitative in nature. Next, hypothesis, sample, research design, research tool. Hypothesis is the expected future outcome, which is a tentative statement. Sample is a subset of the universe, which is a population. Research design is a conceptual framework within your study. Means this is a internal in nature. Research design is a internal in nature, which will give you the roadmap for the researcher. And research tool is a technique used for collection of the facts and information. Tool is a device also. It is a device, or it is a method, or it is a technique of collection of the various facts or collection of the various information. That comes under the tool. Planning, acting on the plan, observe and reflect. Look at planning, acting, observing and reflecting, PAR, is the correct sequence of the action research based studies. Plan, act, observe, reflect. And the research form which will be appropriate to fit for the improving the efficiency or efficacy of formative assessment would be action research. Improving the efficiency, enhancing the efficiency, enhancing the efficiency. Inappropriate application of ICT in research, the absence of technical expertise of the ICT resources. Inappropriate application, it is not appropriate to apply the information communication technology wherever you don't have a technical expertise. If you don't have a technical knowledge, how can you apply the ICT? You don't know how to use the SPSS. Still you are trying to use that one. It is an inefficiency here. You don't know how to apply the ICT tools, then in such case you will use any tool for your research. You don't know what tool is required, what ICT tool is required for your study, then you are applying it randomly. भाई एक बात बताओ, I already told in the morning session, yesterday session, day before yesterday session, none of the session some people will follow it. They will not follow any session. They'll just randomly come and ask the PDF. Why should I give the PDF who are not even attending the session? Number one point. Number 2 point, if I give the PDF also you will not study, you will not understand all the statements. I am trying my best to add the proper explanation for each and every term which is written over here. I already told in the morning I will be providing a PDF for the completed 2 units, unit number 1 and 2 in the Telegram channel. Right? Thank you so much. If you can ask again, that will be your option. I will not respond to it. In ex post facto research design, the independent variable is selected rather than the manipulated. Independent variable is selected only, which is explored, not manipulated. That is what ex post facto research design. When a research rejects null hypothesis in his or her study and accepts an alternative hypothesis, is called as a type 1 error. Type 1 error. When a research rejects null hypothesis, that is H0 is rejected. When this is true, you reject it. That is type 1 error. When and accepting an alternative hypothesis, Actually, when it is true, you should not reject, then it will become an error which is type 1 error denoted by alpha. A university teacher conducts a research study where the lecture cum demonstration method is used to assess the effect on the student's level of participation in terms of the socio-economic status. Here, lecture cum demonstration method is the one variable. They are using that one to identify the effects of student level of participation in terms of the socio-economic. Students' level of participation, socio-economic status of the family. And here independent variable is that lecture cum, because this method, how it is impacting on the student level of participation. Intervening variable is that socio-economic status of the parents. Right? Socio-economic status of the parents. Next, set 1. A postulate is it is a statement of the principle assumed in the absence of direct evidence. Postulate is where there is no proper evidence for the statement to be argued. Statement of the principle assumed only. No proper evidence is getting backed up. A construct is an creation. Though it is not directly observable, it is considered to be exist. It is not directly observable, it is considered to be exist. So a construct is not directly observable. We need to create it. We need to construct that methodology or whatever. So that is actually existed, but we don't know about it. That is not directly observable. If you observe in an indirect way, that may be present in your study, which is called as a construct. Variable is something which can vary over a period of time. It could be a quantitative variation, it could be a qualitative variation. Any variation it could be. No, Shivani, if you are a Plus member, I already given this PDF many times in the Plus platform, and all the Plus member, even though your subscription is expired, you know, many Plus members, I am just sending them whenever they ask now, I am sending them personally the PDF, I am giving it to them. But when I get a bad feeling, you know, people will not even, it is not about the Shivani Chaudhary just now she asked. They will not even attend this session. They will not watch anything. They want a PDF. For them, I am not going to help. Literally, I am not going to help. It is not like if you see my class only, you will get a JRF and all. I will not sell all those nonsense things. I am saying I am taking a qualitative one. When I give a PDF, you will not understand. I am trying to explain the PDF which I am going to give it. So some PDF I will give it in the free platform. Some PDF only in the Plus. Right? Sorry, no offense, no defense. Absolutely. I am just telling on the face. Systematic error. Systematic means a process error. It's a process error. It's an error in the procedure. It causes obtained results to vary in a particular direction. By whenever the systematic is there, one direction of the error you can sense it. And when the accidental error happens, whenever accidentally error is happening, this accidental error is indicating your obtained results will vary in any direction. It will not be in a one direction. Any direction it will go. Any direction it will go. Right? Either in a one direction or two way, one way, it will be going into the south, north. The results will vary in any way. That is what accidental error. Systematic error, proper procedural error when you commit it, that will go in a one direction. If you are not performing, if you are not preparing for the UGC NET well, what is the consequence? You know, you will not get a JRF or NET. That is what a systematic error, only one direction error it is. If I have seen the message, I will max reply to you. Please highlight it once again. I will surely reply back. Sorry for not giving reply. I might have missed the message. So here, fundamental research is adding a fund of knowledge or a corpus of knowledge, and applied research is an exploring the applicability of the truths or principles. Action research is an intervention based or amelioration, and case study is an in-depth analysis. Keywords are there by keywords, very small keywords which will give you the answer for that particular type of research. Experimental research method is an manipulation. This is very repetitive one. Manipulation, control of the variables, effect, cause and effect will be there in the experimental research. Cause and effect both will be there. And the sequence which correctly represents the steps of research using quantitative paradigm. Quantitative. In case of quantitative, first research problem we need to identify, review of literature, hypothesis making, testing of hypothesis, Generalization, finally implication. Implication means consequences of the results. Consequence of the results. In terms of the research ethics, most vulnerable stage is the data analysis, data interpretation and reporting, DDR. Data collection, analysis, reporting. And here ICT, information and communication technology application in research, is most useful for enhancing the scope of accessibility. Accessibility means when you type it anything in the Google, you will get many sources. It could be a Shodh Ganga, Shodh Gangotri, many of the authenticable sources you will get it. So by using a ICT, you can get access to various research data which is already happened. Here the scope and potential controversy. Controversy means which is a debate or disagreeable one, is relatively more in terms of application of ICT and research ethics. So here in the data analysis and reporting, this controversy, ICT application and ethics in the research. Ethics in the research is required in the data analysis, data collection and reporting. Whereas ICT as well as ethics both are required, because ICT doesn't required in reporting. ICT required in only collection and analyzing. ICT requirement, research ethics requirement, both put together will be there in the analysis and reporting part. Sorry, ICT will not be there in the collection part. Acha, they are, this is, wait, one second. This point is, controversy is relatively more in terms of application of ICT and ethics. Acha, they mean to say data analysis and reporting of the research. These two are the stages which are creating a controversy between the ethical violation and implementation of ICT in these two stages only. Because ICT will say there is no requirement of ICT in reporting. Research ethics will say ethics need to follow the analysis as well as reporting both. But ICT is following only in the analysis, not in the reporting, like that. Correct. Next, the personalized means flexible one. Contextualized references are permissible in ethnographic researches. So personalized, contextualized as per the requirement of the study in the ethnographic, which is a qualitative study. And in choosing a research tool, important considerations are validity as well as reliability, both. And another also, if it is there in the option, first priority should be validity, second priority reliability, objectivity also will be there. Sometimes accuracy also, sometimes specificity also. So various characteristics are there, but most important are validity, reliability are two. Next, here cost also, another budget is also important. By third parameter for research is that cost, in terms of the time and resources, amount of investment, the time that you need to put in the research, and in terms of the resources availability, the data collection and all, that also important. Next, last two, university teacher wants to study the relationship between the socio-economic and achievement. Again, ex post factor, because achievement is already happened one, already completed one is comes under the achievement. And second level research is nothing but a applied research. I will tell you in a simple sense. Primary level of research is a theoretical research. Right? Secondary level is which is applied research. Tertiary level is or a third level are practitioner research is an action research. Right? So these are the ones which are comes under here. That's about it, guys. Thank you so much, which we are ending this session now. Entire research aptitude single liners are completed. So those who haven't hit a like button and subscribed, please do subscribe and hit a like button. Primary fundamental, that's what I have written, na? Applied research is usually for solving or implementation of the theory. Action research is to solve the immediate problem. Applied is to not only immediate, any problem it will solve by implementing the theories. Whereas action research is only used in the academic problems, that is to improvise the situation only we will use the academic action research with a proper cycle called as an plan, act, observe, reflect. PAR. Thank you. Have a great day. Please do share with your friends. And tomorrow, if possible, I will do one more live which is having 100 questions marathon, mega marathon. But I will inform whether I will do it or not in the Telegram. Now, right after this session, within half an hour, you will get the 2 PDFs in the Telegram. So, kindly do join into the Telegram Achievers Adda. So, 2 PDF which is teaching aptitude, research aptitude, both will be shared in the Telegram. Do join there and get the PDF.